Welcome to the Challenge Podcast, brought to you by Raider Concealment.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the 5th edition of the Challenge Outdoor Podcast, brought to you by Raider Concealment. And you can pick up Raider at your local Sam's Club throughout the U.S. Just check there. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas.
Did.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good. Survived it.
I hear you.
I see you guys left the lights up.
Yeah, man. Southerners, right?
Southerners, man. I leave mine up till Valentine's Day, so then it's like a gift to my wife to pull them off the house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll have to remember that. I'm always complaining, can we get rid of this stuff?
Plan ahead, man. Plan ahead.
Yeah. Guys, we want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, ring the bell, so every time we post new products or new videos, you'll get an alert on your phone. And we want to welcome you guys.
Yeah, we got a couple of guests here today. We got Gabe Hughes, and we've got Nate Fletcher from Burly Man, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about some of the things that I find interesting and the things that they do. And first, I'd like to start with Gabe. No, you said you're a hunter, so kind of tell me a little bit how you got into it, what you're hunting, what you like to hunt.
Yeah, so been hunting for a little over 15 years probably. Do mostly deer and hog hunting, done a little bit of bird hunting, just really not my style. I don't like getting up and standing in 30-degree water to wait for the ducks to fly over. That's just personal though. But yeah, I love deer hunting. Got involved like many other people by my father.
Right.
He got me in the sport, and it just kind of spiraled downhill from there, and now I do a little bit of everything. So
yeah. You hunted yet this year?
I have actually hunted yesterday, and right before Thanksgiving was the only 2 times I've been out this year. But got a couple good shots on deers. Wasn't able to take them though, just due to wind and all that stuff. Just not.
Yeah, well, that's hunting.
A comfortable shot. Yeah.
I mean, I know you do a lot of shooting, as range, long range and up close stuff, but kind of talk a little bit about the differences between shooting and hunting.
Well, shooting, you get a lot more shots to hit the target. Usually with hunting, you get a one and done. And
the target's not usually moving, is it?
Exactly. It's usually not moving unless you're really hardcore and got the the moving targets. But I'm really not well versed in that. But yeah, I mean, shooting's more dialing in your physique with shooting the weapon, whereas hunting is you're trying to bring home a meal.
Right.
So
how did you get into long range shooting?
Just spiraled downhill from hunting and liking guns and getting everything, requiring a different set of tools for each scenario, and then just kind of started with IDPA and IPSC shooting, and then kind of went to long range and kind of spiraled downhill.
So you military, ex-military?
Not military, no. Was never able to do that. So right now,
Just like guns.
Just like guns.
So I understand you build a lot of AR type.
Yeah.
What calibers would you recommend? Because I've been thinking about getting one, and I've been debating the 300 blackout to the 223 or whatever. So what would you suggest? I mean, tell us a little bit about
it. Really depends on your application. If you're doing long range shooting, 6.8 is a really good round for that. It's got very good ballistics out to just under 1,000, sometimes over 1,000, depending on your build. 5.56 or 223 is another really good one for long range. Hunting, I prefer 300 blackout because it's got a little more punch to it.
Right. Yeah. Or 308.
Or 308. But if you're talking a smaller platform, or AR-15 platform, 300 blackout's my favorite. It has the ballistic capability of delivering a massive punch within 500 yards, and if you're lucky enough to hunt with suppressor, there's multiple opportunities for different shots.
Brad likes having a lot of bullets.
Yeah. But and that's another thing with 300 blackout, you can stuff the same amount of bullets in a 5.56 magazine as you would.
Right.
Whereas 308, you're compressed.
You should see him when we go to Texas with his quiver. I mean, he's got stuff in his back pocket, arrows hanging all out his quiver. He's like, man, it's a target-rich environment down here.
You don't ever know.
He ain't happy unless he comes out with no arrows.
Which happens quite a bit.
We did go that one time, and you forgot all your arrows.
Yeah, we show up on a hunt, doing a hog hunt, and I get out, and I grab the bow, and I turn to Scott, and we're filming, and I do my little talk about, well, we're going to do blah, 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 and all the guys are standing there waiting on me, and Scott's like, where's your arrows? And I'm like, oh,
I guess we're going gun
I
hunting.
said, I guess we're going gun hunting. So I reached in and grabbed the 300, and off we went, and actually was successful. So
Yeah, he didn't want to bow hunt. He just acted like he wanted to bow
Well,
hunt.
Gabe, I know too. We talked earlier that you're kind of into making knives.
Yeah.
So you do it from the whole forging process and everything, or you just buy the blades already steel and then you just cut it, or how does it?
I used to do a lot of the straight forging back from just blanks,
Right.
but when I moved, I lost the move a lot of my forged stuff. So right now I'm kind of down to getting either pre-cut blanks or just messing around with different types of steels,
Right.
like spring steel and leaf springs, and just kind of making the best of it.
Right.
But to answer your question, I like the actual blacksmithing and forging process. Right
So
now, I'm just kind of.
Do you do it for yourself? Do you sell them? Or
I just do it for myself. It's some way to pass the time and
Christmas
just,
gifts and whatever?
Yeah, exactly.
Hunting knives, tactical knives.
My birthday is December 28th.
Gotcha.
which is like
That's
soon.
Which is soon.
Tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'll make sure to finish one up next year.
So you get Christmas gifts, birthday gifts,
Oh
all
man,
wrapped
they
into
just
one.
hold one over. I get one less for Christmas. That's how that works.
Yeah,
man.
that's terrible.
It's horrible.
So Nate, talk about some of the things you do. I mean, looking at the patterns you got laying here. I said earlier that off camera that laying these things down, it looks like just pressed cloth. I mean the outcome you got here. I mean, it's so realistic. The depth perception. I mean, it's incredible from what we've dealt with in the past.
Yes, no, absolutely. A little bit of background, I guess, about myself and Burly Man Tactical, the company. I was raised in Alaska. When I was 2 years old, my dad was going on a moose hunt, and he said I wanted to go with him. And he said I'm not taking a baby. I wasn't potty trained. I was one of those late bloomers. And he said, I'm not taking a baby. You have to be potty trained if you want to go on this moose hunt. And so overnight, I was potty trained, had motivation, right? Had no other reason. I just like people changing my diapers. But had motivation. And on that first hunt, I remember we had a 27-foot flat bottom riverboat, went up the Yukon River. And that was my first experience. Had a military surplus external frame pack, and I have a picture of myself at 2 years old with a Crossman BB gun sitting on the front porch. It's as long as I am tall, and I get this pack that's like 3/4 of my height, and I was ready to go
live in
hunt.
Alaska?
No, they actually moved down.
Darn, I thought we
8,
had
10
an
years.
in.
I don't have an in. No, I will go with you anytime you want. Let's
Well,
go.
it's on my bucket list. And he
No,
did
mine
it at
too.
2. It's on there.
Yeah. And we would go on a hunt every year. And I think my last hunt in Alaska was when I was around 18.
If we keep waiting much longer, Brad will be crapping his pants.
I won't be potty trained anymore.
So bad. But yeah, so transitioning that, going from Alaska, from that, I went into law enforcement and corrections. And while there, I was an instructor in tactical environments and CQB and that type of thing. And, during the course of about a 7-year period, I got hurt and ruptured disc in my back. And that required 3 back surgeries to recover from that. And that was over 3 back surgeries over a 3-year period. And during that time, having 2 children at the time, now 3, and 1 wife. 3 by 3, that works too, but 1 wife. And, during that time, I realized that I had to rethink my life. And my doctor said, hey, you cannot go back into those types of work environments anymore, or you might not come out of it walking.
Right.
And so, as a result of that, I really started kind of soul searching and figuring out a new course for life. And I had a lot of interest in product management and creating products and just the creative nature of art and and product development. And so from that, I was like, I've always had an interest in tactical gear and developing product lines. And so we started with a holster. And I was sitting in my garage by myself, recovering from my, at the time, 3rd back surgery, and trying to figure out what to do with my life. And the first holster I made, I put on eBay, and it sold. And I caught a bug. I was like, man, if maybe I could actually do this, And that turned into in about a year after that, At that time, I think we had 5 or 6 people working 2 shifts out of my garage. And my neighbors were very kind during that whole season because they also, they were tolerant. And they got to see, they saw me not being able to walk, to building a business out of my house. And they were really kind and are kind. And, since then, we started developing products for other people. And, Clint from ATAX and Raider Concealment with Phil and DCS and all that, they contacted us in March of 2019 and said, hey, we have an idea for this product line and we'd like to see if you could help us with it.
Right.
And so that over the course of 2019 has been really the development of this product line, starting with the Raider, we'll call them the hunting patterns, between broadsword and gladius. Like you kind of alluded to earlier, it's amazing the proprietary process that we've established in the plastics line that you can literally lay it on the cloth
and it looks the same. Yeah, you guys have really nailed it on the head. I mean, that's perfect representation of it right there. And we're excited to be working with you.
Sitting here listening to your story, I've told this to Brad a lot. When you find somebody that has a passion for something, just like we do, just like you do, everybody has a story, a pretty cool story that got them to where they are. You just don't plunge into something and you have no interest in it, no passion, no desire. And to hear your story, it's cool to see how it developed. You had an idea, you had a passion. It was obviously in your background, being from the hunting side of things.
And I appreciate that. And a lot of the development and the things that we find exciting, in the Raider Concealment line, we understand that camo is to break up form, right? We know that it's environment based, and that's where broadsword and gladius come in. And then in the what's been known as the next camo line for winter environments and blaze orange and bones and evos and next. But then now in the takes a secure man, to rock a burly man, we would say, to rock an orange and purple holster. But for the more conservative folks, we have the camo
for
and
hunters.
For hunters in that environment, outside the waistband, inside the waistband. Yes, we make holsters. We're a holster company. However, we're also a product design company. And a manufacturing plastics company. And so we're really excited. We've partnered with Spartech, which is a plastics company, and we've rolled out together with them a new line of plastic called Royalite HG. And our intent is, if you are in the holster industry or knife sheath industry and you make thermoformed products, we are coming after Kydex. Well, our intent is to be not only a competitor with, but a replacement for. And in a lot of different ways, we spent a lot of time from the technical, nerdy side developing better plastic. And when it comes to the color, the clarity, the definition of our camo patterns, you can hold up what has been the competition in the past, of katana.
Night and day.
Right? And then you hold up katana and what we're doing, and there's no comparison, right? And so we're really excited about where Burly Man Tactical is going together with Raider.
Yeah, well, we are too. So for a hunter, how can you help them in your services? What's kind of some of the stuff that you can mold and fit, that would fit a hunter, which is probably most of the people that are watching this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. So, say you're a hunter and you have a snake gun that you carry on your hip, or you have a chest rig that works together with the suspension system you use in your tree stand. We're able to make holsters in-house for about 200 different guns. About 30 different light combos with those guns. And I think right now our math is somewhere around 500,000 variations that we offer between attachments, colors, and gun types. And so, when it comes to really specific builds, recently had a gentleman that had his grandfather's gun, doesn't intend on carrying it, but it's a gun that most people don't have in their safe.
Right.
And so he came to us and wanted to be a part of the experience of building something for that gun, right? Because of the sentimental value. And so sometimes, whether it's the hunter that just wants that snake gun with a Glock 19, you know, or a Ruger Super Hawk or whatever it is.
The judge with the 410 barrel.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we can do that pretty standard. And then if you have something really custom, you know, you come down into our shop in Woodbine, Georgia, you make an appointment, and we have people that literally fly in and come, and we do something really cool and film the process. So
That's really neat.
yeah,
man.
so it's really fun. So anything from guns to knives to axes, you know, just pretty much anything you can imagine, we'll do it. And we love interesting and
New
exotic.
challenges.
Yeah, new challenges. A lot of fun.
The challenge, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. The challenge outdoors.
That's it.
What's the coolest thing you've ever worked on?
Built. Man, let's see. I had recently actually, and part of it was artwork, but this guy's grandmother had made a sculpture for his grandfather in '58. And all he had, they're passed away now, but all he had was the sculpture. And so he brought the sculpture in and wanted the art on the holster to be the sculpture. And so we took a lot of pictures and did a digital mock-up of the sculpture. And then the engraving that his grandmother had etched on the back of the ceramic, we traced and then added to the front of the
That's
artwork.
cool.
So it had her note to her husband in '58 on the front of the holster,
That's
which was
really cool.
You
That's
know,
really
just
awesome.
uniquely different, you know. And there's none another like it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and we do that sometimes for really, really custom stuff. It can be a little more expensive because it's one-off.
Right.
So how much, you know, guy wants a holster, you know, one of these laying up here, what's he looking at?
Yeah, a typical outside the waistband averages about $60. You know, very, very good price range. A sidecar style inside the waistband usually starts out about $80 and just goes up depending on how many features and camo types and things like that. Our price point, though, on average, most people that buy holsters from us spend about $100. That's pretty much just because of the features that are pretty
Right.
common and things. But we can make any accommodation, whether it's you know, RMR cuts for guys that are running red dots on their pistols, which is now a huge thing.
Right.
Especially for guys that maybe don't have the best eyesight, they can see that red dot. You know, it's becoming a standard.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's becoming a standard, and things like suppressor height sights. We even have a holster model if you're running a suppressor on a pistol that allows you to carry suppressed on your pistol. We have holster
waistband?
models for that. So we don't have an inside the waistband version of that, but yeah, we can make a lot of different fun accommodations for sure.
That's good stuff.
But yeah, anyway.
Well, the patterns that you're talking about, not the patterns, the plastics you were talking about earlier, what are the benefits for the new series versus the older series? I mean, I know you talked about the clarity of the print, but
Absolutely. Well, we've worked together with Royalite product line to basically have higher standards, as in the thicknesses of the plastic are more consistent. The way they form, if you're a company that actually does thermoforming and molds products, the definition you get out of this plastic is better than the definition you get out of Kydex. And then also from the infusing process for companies around the world that do that as well. You know, we sell the plastics and it takes color better than Kydex does.
Gotcha.
And, you know, that's kind of a little nerdy.
Oh,
but
yeah,
on the
it
building
matters.
side, well, it does. And, you know, maybe for the hobbyist, right, that watch this show and they want to order, you know, bones in, you know, a piece of bones plastic, and they want to make their own holster because they're handy.
Yeah.
And they want to do that. It's going to be, for the amateur, it's going to be easier to polish this plastic than it is Kydex, which is really exciting, you know,
Yeah,
and
it is.
speeds up manufacturing processes, which some don't care about, but, you know, obviously I do.
well, it's the wave of the future. I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of like everything evolves, and this is the next step.
Yes, next generation, absolutely.
So you mentioned earlier, off camera, invited us down
Yeah.
to come down and bring a few items. I mean, what would you suggest? And just so we can kind of show the process to the viewers for a later podcast.
Yeah.
So give me some ideas of what we need to be looking at bringing down that, the average hunter could have done himself.
No, absolutely. So, most hunters, early morning, right?
Yeah.
You're used to cold early mornings and low light situations. Whether you have a headlamp or a flashlight,
right.
We can do sheaths or carriers for your flashlights of choice.
Right.
Your skinning knives, your multi-tools, depending if you're a bow hunter, maybe your releases. Quite literally anything you can imagine. Your first aid blowout kit. If you use a tourniquet or take a tourniquet on hunts with you, if you have the proper training for that,
right. Last resort.
We can make holders for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And we even talked about maybe doing a phone case. Or something.
I mean, if you want a phone case in Raider Concealment, we can in broadsword or something.
I think we're all on board
on it too.
Yeah, I think we're all on board with that.
Yeah, no, we can absolutely do that. So it's really, I like to say that it's not your ability necessarily that is going to stifle what we can build. It's your imagination. And so if you can envision it and you want it done, we can do it.
That's cool. How would someone get in touch with you if they want to do that?
BurlyManTactical.com. If you go on our Instagram, which we're very active on, Burly_man_tactical. And of course, Facebook, BurlyManTactical.com.
You got a YouTube?
We do have a YouTube channel also, Burly Man Tactical.
Yeah, we'll go to theirs and subscribe.
Absolutely.
Hit the bell. While you're on YouTube, please go ahead and subscribe to the Challenge Outdoors podcast. Hit the bell, ring the bell, subscribe. You'll get notifications anytime we have some new guest on, have a new podcast, post up some new video, whatever we got going on, you'll get notified. And Brad, I know Christmas is over.
Yeah.
But there's still plenty of Raider out there available at a lot of these Sam's Clubs throughout the country.
Sure, for the clothing. And there again, like he was saying, if you want to get something done in Raider, it's unlimited. We got numerous patterns, lifestyle patterns. So we really appreciate you guys coming on. Gabe, we appreciate you coming on.
My pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, sir. We look forward to having you guys back, and we look forward to coming down and seeing you, a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. But, whenever hunting season's over. Guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Challenge Outdoor podcast brought to you by Raider Concealment.
Hey guys, Brad Frost from Raider Concealment, and I'd like to encourage everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the like button and also ring the notification bell so that you'll get all the updates for our upcoming videos.